Welcome back to a systems thinking analysis of Orangewood Christian School. In the first part of this presentation, we discussed why a systems thinking analysis was necessary for Orangewood Christian, and we began a discussion on personal systems. We discussed systems thinking and personal mastery, and now we're picking up in part 2 with mental models. Senge states that mental models can be simple generalizations or they can be complex theories, but what is most important to grasp is that mental models are active. They shape how we act. How can OCS then address mental models? Let's begin with the leadership. Train OCS leadership in reflective, not reactive practices. At present, OCS leaders spend more time reacting to school challenges and conflicts than they do reflecting upon the causes of the challenges and conflicts. Instead of reacting to problems, OCS leadership needs to be more proactive in anticipating challenges and preparing responses in advance. Developing reflective practices will require leaders to gain insights from the faculty. Training OCS leadership in reflective practices will allow leaders to make well-reasoned, well-supported decisions for the school community. Let's look at the faculty next. Provide opportunities for faculty members to engage in quarterly reflection as a team. Teachers can become more effective when given the opportunity to reflect. Frequently, teachers operate in a triage mentality, assigning levels of importance to tasks and do not plan to reflect. By reflecting as a team, teachers are pulled from isolation and can be encouraged by their peers. Providing opportunities for faculty members to engage in quarterly reflection as a team will maximize their learning. Let's consider the students. Teach students to recognize the motivations behind their behavioral choices. Many times, when asked, "Why did you do X, Y, or Z?" most students will respond, "I don't know." Teaching students to reflect on their choices will train them to be cognizant of their own choices. That is the underlying theory behind applied behavioral analysis. We talk about the ABCs of behavior, the antecedent, what precipitated the behavior, B, the behavior itself, and C, the consequence, what resulted from the behavior. Behavior usually has two motivations, to either gain something or avoid something else. Let's teach students to recognize those mental models. Creating ownership of decisions will increase student self-awareness and hopefully minimize disciplinary incidents. Teaching students to recognize the motivation behind their behavioral choices will help them develop into mindful adults. Let's consider the parents. Engage parents in meaningful dialogues concerning student behavior and performance. Parents may not observe the same behaviors outside of school that faculty may observe. Parents and faculty working together to discuss student behavior and performance will allow both parties to develop a better understanding of the student. Gaining parental insights will create a holistic picture of the student. And engaging parents in meaningful dialogues concerning student behavior and performance will minimize the likelihood of parents being pitted against teachers, thereby allowing both groups of stakeholders to systematically address problems. Let's next consider the personal system of shared vision. Senge states, at its simplest level, a shared vision is the answer to the question, what do we want to create? How can OCS address shared vision? Beginning with the leadership. Encourage OCS leadership to develop personal vision. Before OCS leaders can answer the question of what do we want to create, they must first define their individual visions. When each member of OCS leadership is able to articulate a clear personal vision, they will be better able to develop a shared vision. At present, the OCS vision statement is, our vision is that each student who is educated at Orangewood Christian School will advance Christ's kingdom, engage in transformed culture, and serve and honor God. Encouraging OCS leadership to develop personal vision will empower them to decide what will need to happen in order to achieve their stated vision. Faculty. Collaborate with students to develop a shared vision for the school year. Teachers should develop an introductory unit to their subject that previews course objectives and requires students to set goals for themselves. Students can then share their goals, and the class can decide on a shared vision for the year. Collaborating with students to develop a shared vision for the school year will allow them to increase personal ownership of their learning. Students. Facilitate goal-setting activities for students. Students are frequently told to set goals for themselves. However, they are rarely taught how to set realistic goals. If teachers and students were to collaborate on goal-setting activities, students would generate better personal visions, which would then lead to better shared vision. Facilitating goal-setting activities for students will prepare them for independent goal-setting as adults. Parents. Teach parents how to work with their children to set goals for the family. Often, the goals set for students come from the parents, with minimal input from the students themselves. By creating goals as a family, the family will be better able to practice the discipline of shared vision as a unit. Teaching parents how to work with their children to set goals for the family will allow them to take ownership of their contributions to the family. Team learning. Team learning, as Sen states, is the process of aligning and developing the capacity of a team to create the results its members truly desire. So then, how can OCS address team learning? Leadership. Address ideas and challenges through dialogue. In the past, OCS leadership has approached decision-making in an us versus them mental model. OCS leadership needs to work on transitioning from a discussion-based model of decision-making to one based on dialogue. Addressing ideas and challenges through dialogue will require OCS leaders to step outside of their comfort zones and make decisions based upon consensus and reason. Faculty. Perform a strength and skills analysis within the faculty and make committee placements based on the results. Committee placements are presently limited to members of leadership. However, these committees would benefit greatly from the presence of classroom teachers. Instead of basing placements on politicking, a strength and skills analysis would be useful in identifying faculty members whose unique skills would benefit leadership team members. By performing a strength and skills analysis within the faculty, OCS will make great strides in developing the capacity of the team. Students. Teach students how to reason through ideas and challenges as a team. Our society has given students the idea that the loudest voice in an argument or discussion wins. Students must learn to reason through challenges, both individually and as a team. Moreover, they must be challenged to find the presuppositions, the whys, for their perceived positions, so that they may understand what factors influence their mental models. Teaching students how to reason through ideas and challenges as a team will provide them with valuable life skills and allow them to become wiser decision makers. Parents. Foster dialogue between parents, teachers, and students to address challenges. Currently, OCS only fosters such dialogues for high school students placed on academic probation, students for whom the dialogue is largely too late. It would benefit all grade levels to extend this meeting of the minds to all grade levels. Fostering dialogue between parents, teachers, and students to address challenges will result in corrective actions that are couched in grace and not punishment. Having discussed the 5 personal systems, let's now summarize them and how they're being implemented at OCS. Systems thinking is not a current priority at OCS, and the resulting implementation of personal systems is haphazard at best. Levels of buy-in among the faculty vary widely. Some faculty members prioritize their personal mastery and spend money out of pocket to engage in professional development seminars and conferences. Others, however, are teaching in the absence of any teaching credentials. Many members of OCS leadership do not hold administrative credentials. For example, state educational leadership certificates or degrees in educational leadership. 60% of the high school faculty possesses a graduate degree. However, only one member of the high school leadership team has a graduate degree. Faculty members wishing to collaborate on student challenges or curricular alignment must do so outside of classroom hours, greatly limiting their ability to apply systems thinking to student experiences. How can OCS increase the effectiveness of its personal systems? OCS leadership needs to make systems thinking a priority in its organizational design and align the present naturally occurring systems with organization-created systems. OCS leadership needs to examine the systems that have naturally generated within the organization and work to create other organization-made systems that will complement them. Recognize that leaders exist within the faculty community and seek their insight concerning systemic issues. And be willing to consider solutions that originate outside of top-level leadership. The faculty members are the boots on the ground daily and the front line of defense for the organization. Allow them to contribute to its development. The next portion of this will refer to organizational systems. What are organizational systems theories? Organizational systems theories are the efforts to understand sets of objects, the relationships between sets of objects, and the relationships between sets of objects and their environments. Within OCS exist several sets of objects. It is paramount for OCS leadership to understand how those sets of objects relate to and affect other sets of objects. These theories provide effective frameworks for organizational behavioral analysis. How do organizational systems theories apply to Orangewood? Well, organizational systems theories provide excellent insight into organizational behavior. As the school undergoes transitions in leadership, organizational systems theories are objective lenses with which to understand OCS's culture and operation. OCS leadership can use these theories to influence organizational decision-making. In part 3 of this presentation, I'll discuss 4 organizational systems theories and how they relate to Orangewood.